Testing 1, 2. All right, guys. Happy Monday again. I hope you guys are having a great day today. And give a couple of quick shout outs. This is only going out to our membership group, but it is in the membership area in the tailored lesson section. But I want to kind of show you a very simple thing to practice over this alternate bass line that we've been working on. I did do a full public, just a full lesson today on the iMusicAcademy on YouTube, where I was talking about the second inversion triads and going up all the different possibilities. But so that also contained this bass line as well. But this is for you guys. I want to talk about, we had the first 5 notes of the blues scale, right? Which we know very well as one shape. We also know that as you go down 3 half steps from whatever your root is, that you have the minor blues scale, so the relative minor scale. So C blues, we know that A blues scale works, right? So as we're learning a difficult bass line like this, I mean, it's difficult for some of you guys, and for some of you may have been practicing it maybe a little bit easier. But the key is to continue to use repetition. And if you need to straighten it out, do that as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so you're going to spend time doing that. So in our right hand, we're going to use this simple idea of a very simple melody, but also using some guide tones to comp in our right hand when we're not playing the melody. So I just was thinking, how can I make this really simple in our right hand so that we can really focus on our left hand? So here's the pattern: 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now the tricky part is the syncopation, right? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4, and all those are off the beat. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that again. So we're using the relative minor first 4 notes of the blues scale of A minor. And I'm doing on the end of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, and we get to that major third. And don't worry, guys, I can write out a PDF for this for you guys, no problem. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Make sure I'm telling you right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Isn't that nice how the A's line up together? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then I go to G and C. And now I'm going to go down and do my guide tones. What are guide tones again? It's the 3rd and the 7th of whatever chord you're on. In this case, we're doing a C7. So our guide tones are the 3rd and the 7th. And in this case, it's a flat 7. So as you guys know, that the guide tones tell whether or not it's major or minor. And the 7th note of the scale tells whether or not it's a major 7 or a dominant 7. For the sake of the blues, we're using 3 flat 7, right? So here's what we have so far: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. Now I'm going to put the syncopated chord tones, the guide tones. Gosh. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and when I do 1 and 2 and 3, I have to think, well, where does this line up? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so it's on the repeat of the C. 1 and 2 and then the E. That's how I get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Let me slow it down. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. 2 and 3 and slow it down just a little bit more. And again, if we can get this simple thing in the right hand, which it's simple in terms of how many notes, but what's a little bit tricky with it is the offbeats on the guide tones. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Those are together. 1 and 2. That's without the guide tones. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Alright, so the second time what I'm doing is this. The first time is the first 4 notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. The second time, instead of da dum A C, it's gonna go E C B flat, emphasizing the C7 part of this bass line, right? So we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now, here's a fun little trick that I just did. Instead of doing the and of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 1, I did 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So then it gets the pick kind of a syncopated feel in the right hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Listen to how that sounds into. Scale coming down. Here we go. are starting to get tired from doing that for a while, but I really, really like the way that feels under the hand. That felt pretty good. Let me, I'll pick up where we left off in just a second. I am going to let our WhatsApp chat group just know that we're having fun in here. WhatsApp, let me open. Okay, so here's your idea. Let's go back to the and of 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 2. Let's do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And after you get the bass line, one nice thing is that you have this idea of your guide tones as a comping chord, right? You just played a nice little melody there, and now you're comping. You're complementing the soloist, which is you, and I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And it sounds really nice when you do the offbeat sometimes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You guys know that you always can work any of these things out if you do the accents. If you do if you straighten it out. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. Let's do those triads that I was doing this morning. I like that sound. Let's do that again. So C7 without the root, F triad, second inversion, G minor, A minor. Listen to that suspended sound, right? So C major, listen to that at the top, just a straight up C major in second inversion, and even going down chromatically. I like the fingering 1 3 5, 1 2 4 3, or you can do 1 3 5 on all of them. But just listen as I go down chromatically. Already that gives me some different sounds that I may want to play. So listen, you get the bass line going, and just listen to the sound of that triad. Now I'm going to go down by half steps. Mess with the rhythm a little bit. Now, if I'm here at C and I'm kind of going up the scale, I could play it down here and that's going to sound great. But the next one I'm going to think about, what's up, Dave? I'm going to go up to D minor. So C major in second inversion sounds fantastic, but so does D minor. And I love the sound of the flat third, the D flat going to D for my D minor triad in second inversion. So sometimes I'm just going to spend time with this triad and then the D minor as well. So in your major key, the C7 blues, we know that our C triad in second inversion is going to sound fantastic. Dave, I hope you had fun on the golf course today. I want to know what you shot. So just put that for all 9 people to see, all 9 people in our group to see. Actually, I think we have 11 people in our group, but but go ahead. You can put your score, and then you can say whether or not it was. You can keep it to yourself, or whether or not it was 9 holes or 18. Actually, I know you're a good golfer, so here we go. I'm all over. Sometimes I could shoot really good. Not in the last several years. I'm pretty awful actually right now, but I'm way too streaky. All right, here we go. C and D minor. Don't bring your keyboard into the hot tub. All right, so D minor is already sounding good. What happens if I go up? Let's see what the next chord we want to do. So we have C major. Even that's going to sound good to me. The E minor. Actually, let's put the flat 7 in. All right, so C major, D minor, and then C7 without the root. Let's just do those. Sounds fantastic. Again. There's a little bit of clashing going on, which I like. So C major, D minor, C7 without the root, and I've done this kind of video before. We've talked about the Mixolydian scale, C all the way up, and you have your B flat. So a C major scale plus the B flat, and I'm harmonizing that with second inversion triads. Except for there's the one C7 in third inversion technically, and then we go up here. There's your F in second inversion, G minor, A minor. So as I'm playing this and any kind of bass line, let's just go to quarter notes for a minute. And I'm going up the scale. I have C major, D minor, now C7, F, nice little suspended sound, G minor. So I know that in whatever major key I'm in, we can do a G minor and A minor. Those are back-to-back minor triads, and I can go down by half steps as well. Listen to that. A minor. Now what am I doing there? I'm going A minor to B flat major in second inversion. Isn't that kind of fun there, the way that sounds? And then I go back and I start over at the top with C major in second inversion, right? B flat major, which is the flat 7 major triad, to C major. And I can even go down chromatically to get those nice sounds. And listen to this. Now A minor, going to G minor, now F major, C in third inversion. Now here's my D minor. And then back to C major. Okay, now, just reminding you of what we did this morning for everyone to see. And now this little melody that we're going to use, guys, is just our A minor blues scale. And all you're going to do is this. You're going to give me 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Let's just repeat that. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. And I like, on this one, I like 4th finger to my 5th finger, of kind of hammering that on. Yes, you could slide it, whatever you want to do there, but I kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4 to 5. And then go to your A, C. There. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Getting used to that second inversion my guide tones of the offbeat. I like when we can mix up between comping on the downbeats like this. If I did, okay, that's one way to do it. But then here's the offbeat, kind of a mixture of onbeat and offbeat. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1. Let me do a mixture of a couple different rhythms that we could actually use for this comping idea. So you could go with our guide tones, 3 and flat 7. We could just go downbeats. We could do 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. How about this? Let's see. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. How about this? 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's a good way to practice. Just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Now I'll do the bass line. Guide tones, whole notes right now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. And how about this? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. How about the and? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Okay, now right there, all I'm doing is the and of 3 and doing this very simple melody that we started off with. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and hammer on to the E. So E flat to E. If you think about this as one simple melody, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and let me just gonna practice that in the right hand while I practice the bass line in the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now, if this, as it relates to C major, we have 6 root, second note, and then I hammer on the minor third to the major third. Well, what happens when we go to F? Right? So just like we did the 6th note of the C scale to the root, when you go to F, the 6th note of an F scale, root, second, minor third to major third. Let's listen to that. 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now let's do it on G, the 5 chord of the C blues, right? We have the 6th note up to the root, second note, minor third to major third. And notice it's the same exact fingering all the way through. I think probably the best thing that I can do for you guys on this particular lesson, even though it's very simple in the right hand, here's your melody, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. I'm gonna write all that out, but then the other thing that I'll do is add comping rhythms in the right hand. So we're gonna do like this. We'll just do this 1 and 2. 1, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2, 3 and 4. But I'm not going to go, that'll be one of the harder ones that I do. At first we'll start with whole notes. Guide tones for G. Let me do that again. Okay, so we have simple rhythms and then a little bit more complex. All right. So since I was off today and had a little time to do a few lessons, I spent a lot of time doing this right here. And part of the reason is, one, for me to get some practice in with that particular bass line, but also to encourage you guys to spend time with this one. And the 4 bass lines that we've been working on together, the most are the eighth note bass line, the quarter note bass line, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, the boogie woogie, not boogie woogie, the New Orleans type feel, 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and then this one now, the alternate bass line, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and let's listen to see what that sounds like with the different bass lines. So we have the eighth note, 1 and 2 and 3 and let's do the quarter note, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and about that, even that simple melody, do da 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 ba da, we do that on C, and when it's time to go to the F, all we have to do is change one note, da da da, and the reason is because you have your flat 7 there, da 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 da, 1 and 2 and 3. This is with our quarter note bass line. Now F. Another thing, and this is just the confessional time, sometimes when I'm doing these lessons and just kind of practicing myself, I'm playing a little bit more on the harsh side, so it might even sound pretty harsh to you guys on your end. And so if I'm really trying to be really clean and very musical, I would probably play it a little different as I'm doing this. I'll try to be more... Let me wrap up this lesson with something else I was doing today. Let me remember what it was I was going to remind you guys. I know what I was thinking. So this morning I started off a lesson. Let me think of what I was doing. Okay, now I remember what I was doing this morning. Awesome, Dave. That's really good. Okay, so my original thought for today was something that I started out thinking for you guys very early, and then I forgot what it was, but now I've just remembered. Is that we have this idea of voice leading. Okay, voice leading is whenever you can make your chords easily go from one chord to the other, right? And what you're going to do is you're trying to make a smooth transition. So in this case, if I have a C chord that's going to go to an F chord, if I play a C9 chord right here, it's a great chord by itself, 3 flat 7 9, and I'm just jamming along, right, playing out. But if I go to an F and did the same voicing, it would be like this. So it'd be here all the way up to here, which is not going to sound good. So what we want is good voice leading. And I've told you guys many times that your guide tones move by half steps. And let me demonstrate this one more time, and then we'll put it together, and then we'll call it at least an end of this live. And I'll probably do another one tonight because, again, I have 2 off days and I'm enjoying putting out content. But don't feel overwhelmed in any way. I'm going over all material that we've already done. We're just putting it all together. Okay, so our guide tones, in this case for a C7, are B flat and E. And you notice in my right hand, I have the guide tones on the bottom and I have a G on top. So this is a nice little voicing for C7, okay? Now, if I'm going to go to my F chord, all I have to do is this C7 chord easily wants to go to an F9 by moving these 2 guide tones, B flat and E, down to A, down a half step to A, E flat and G. Now you have an F9 chord. Now let me do this very slowly so you can see it, okay? C7 without the root goes down to an F9. See how easy that is right there? How smooth that is, instead of me jumping all around. Da, da, da. Now, I'm going to go to this F chord. Now, if I'm on an F chord here, and I know that the 5 chord of C is G, right? We just played the 4 chord, which is F, is what we're on right now, an F9 chord, which sounds great, just like that. F, C, A, E flat, G, that's the root of F, the C of an F scale, the third A of an F scale, the flat 7 of an F scale, normally have an E natural, and the 9th. We call that a 9th, that G a 9th, because there's our flat 7 and we're stacking notes on top. Now, if I go up 2 half steps, now I'm at a very nice G9 voicing. That's not too far away. So that's going to sound great if I stay close to that. So I have 2 different voicings. There's my C7 voicing. When I go to F, listen, all I'm going to change is my bottom 2 notes in my right hand, which are my guide tones, flat 7 of C to the 3rd of C, and you go down a half step, and now you reverse that, and you have the 3 flat 7 of the F scale. So in C major, it's flat 7 3 of a C major scale. Flat 7 3. Then when you go to F, it's 3 flat 7. So your guide tones go down a half step and it reverses flat 7 3 to 3 flat 7. That's what makes it so nice and so smooth. So now I went from here, C, I'm gonna go to F. Just change 2 notes. Watch what happens when I go to G. I'm just going to take this shape and go up to the next set, or the same shape that I have, and going up to the G9. 3 flat 7 9 of a G scale, right? And then I can even come down to F9 and then back to my C voicing. Okay, now once you get those 3 chords down, C7, F9, G9, all you have to do is put the bass line with it. And so it'd be like this, C7. Now I'm going to add something really nice in just a second, but here's the F9. There's your C7. All right, here comes your G9, F9, and C7. Okay, so after you practice that, and I really think that I need to write that out as well, just so you guys will have it to practice. But one thing we're gonna do is, I did this morning. I showed you how you can put a diminished sound in it, and really what I'm doing is I'm wanting to hear this sound, da da, just a little half step, da da da, da 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 da, da, just kind of like going to that dissonant note just for a second for the sound. And then because I can do this, I can take this B flat and go down. You remember that my guide tones even go down to here. So this is actually the notes of a C diminished chord. A diminished chord is a chord built all on minor thirds. And so if you listen, all of those notes are from the diminished chord. A, E flat, and G. So just listen to the sound. Right? Isn't that fun right there? Kind of has that trains rolling through, right? Da, da, da. Watch what happens when I go to F9. I just like the sound of going to that for a second. So it's actually a D major in second inversion. And I'm just looking for a kind of interesting dissonant sound to go with that. So I went F9 to a D major in second inversion. All I'm doing is wanting to hear the dissonance of these two notes wanting to go down a half step and then back up. G9, watch this. There's a G9 chord. Same thing. I want to hear those the dissonance of the train coming through. F, and the train's coming through. Yeah, the train's coming through. The train's coming through. F9. What did I do there? I took that G9 and just went down to F sharp 9 just for a second, and then went down to the 4 chord, right? To the F9. So we have this 1 and 2 and 3 and da, da. The train's coming through. F9, here we come. G9. Now, once you have just those 3 chords, even without all the fancy stuff, you just have this chord. C, C7, right? B flat, E, and G. And then we have the F9. All you have to do is take the bottom 2 notes in your right hand and go down a half step. Now you have your F9. And then the only other chord you have to know is your G9, which is 3 of a G scale, flat 7, and 9. Now watch this. I'm just going to practice the new bass line over this one chord. After I practice that some, and now I want to just go down to the next chord, which is my F9. And you got this one shape right here, A, E flat, and G. Go back to C. Okay, now I'm getting ready for the G9 really slowly. F9. so many fun different ways we could go with all this. All right, guys. Dave, enjoyed hanging out with you. And again, this went out to just our family. Give quick shout outs. Want to give a shout out? Hold on a second. All right. Not that anybody's going to watch this necessarily, but get ready. I used to do shout outs when we were doing our practice sessions a long time ago. All right. Quick shout out to Brad, to Claire, to T-Man, to Dave, to other Dave, Dave W and Dave P, to Ian, to Mark, to Peter, to William. All right, I think I covered most of you guys. To Nico, to Vicky. All right, just a shout out to say you guys, I'm always thinking about what you guys are working on, and I know that several of you are working on different things. And then I'll wrap up today with this. I say today, I probably will do something tonight. But I want to, for April, I want us to do individual practice practice plans. Is that I want to know what you're enjoying the most for your specific thing that you've been working on. For some of you, you're liking going through all the exercises. Some of you are doing jazz things. Some of you are just doing the blues. And I want to set up a basic practice strategy, and where you can actually just, of course, always email me. And several of you also I text with, and you let me know what you're working on, which again I love. You can always do that in the WhatsApp chat group as well. But I want to know what you're practicing so I can help you guys. And the other thing is, this is for everybody, and this is where it gets really fun, is all these songs that we've been doing ever since we started with Dave's Leaving on a Plane. I have all of those PDFs, and I think I'm going to do a book. Awesome, Dave. Really cool. Yeah, we're going to do a book of all of the tunes, and then we're going to, before I make it for sale at iMusicAcademy, I want to do where we go through all of them, starting with the most simple, and I'll actually get you guys to help me figure out what you think are the easiest that we have. But we have everything from, gosh, there's so many songs that we've done. We've done Dave's Leaving on a Plane, the blues. We've done the family blues. We've done the low volume blues, the Christmas Eve blues, the Friday blues. Gosh, I love how non-creative, if that's a word, my titles are our titles. You guys are just as responsible as I am. All right, guys. Have an awesome day. And I may or may not see you on tonight, but I may even go live publicly on YouTube tonight if I feel inspired to do that. I might practice saxophone or something like that, because I do have a gig on saxophone in May, middle of May, and I've got to bust my tail to get ready for that. It's kind of a big deal. All right, Dave, enjoy your times. Always fun hanging out with you, and hope to see the rest of you guys on the replay. If you do watch this, make sure you like the video. This only went out to like 10 people. Actually, maybe about 8 or 9. I forgot to include a couple people. So anyway, all right, guys, see you in the next video.